Hi, welcome back. Great to see you. Today we're going to take a look at JJ Cale Songwriting Part 3. Okay, now if you haven't seen the previous tutorials, I would suggest you do that before watching this one. I'll put a link up there so you can go check those out if you haven't seen them. And essentially what we did was in Part 1, we had a basic drum beat, and the object of the exercise, if you like, was to try and create an arrangement around that drum beat, just using the chords E, A and B. And in Part 1 I laid down a rhythm guitar for you to kind of follow and express yourself alongside that idea, if you like, or if you wanted to kind of copy what I was doing, that's cool too. Yeah, it was just to get your imagination flowing really. And then in Part 2 we moved on to adding another guitar part, both rhythm guitar parts at this stage. Only in the second part we played a different chord voicing, which is basically chord in a different position further up the neck, and just to give it some kind of variation and to separate it a little bit from the first guitar part. So like in Part 3 of this tutorial we're going to add another guitar part and some piano to kind of flesh out the arrangement and make it much more song-like, yeah? So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to zoom in close and give you a flavour of the guitar part that I've added in this track. So let's zoom in and have a look at that. Okay, so let's take a look at this third rhythm guitar part track. Okay, I'm playing like an E chord, alright, but just with those two. Normally you'd have the 4th and 5th string, 2nd fret. We're just going to look at the 4th string here and the 3rd string on the 1st, okay? So try and get this first finger here going. Yeah, this is... So this little finger here is going on the 3rd fret, 2nd string and the 1st string. It's going between them. Now there's not much happening other than that. If you watch, I'm just going... So you can kind of play what you want there. Then it goes into an A, which I slide like a long A, A7, just that. Little fingers coming up to the 2nd string, 5th fret. So you got back into your E, B7 there. That's just a turnaround. 1st and 3rd strings, 4th fret, 3rd fret, 2nd, and then take that off there. So you got a... If you want to do that turnaround, you know, I would suggest not overdoing that. Now, there is also a passage where it goes into the A, okay, so take your E position there. Okay, so that's 3rd and 4th strings, yeah? I'm sure you're aware with that. Middle finger's not doing anything, still 3rd and 4th strings, 2nd and 4th fret, then up to... So that takes you in, just like that's a turnaround. Just like that's a turnaround, that kind of is as well. For your A. Yeah, so that's where it goes into the A passage. So it's just to give you some ideas rather than you playing something note for note. Just fiddle about with the... Yeah? So that's the kind of idea I'm getting at there. It doesn't have to be anything. Nothing's written in stone. It's just about you enjoying yourself and trying to have a little bit of fun. But try and experiment with a little bit of finger picking. You know, you can just, if you're in the E chord, then don't be too distracted. You don't have to do the... It can just be... Just start basic. So hopefully that'll give you some idea as to what that third rhythm guitar part is doing. Okay, so there you could see I'm basically using my thumb to pick out a little bit of bass and my fingers to pick out a little bit of melody, okay, because we've got enough kind of rhythmic elements. I wanted just a few notes popping in and out of the arrangement at this stage. You know, if we're going to be trying to emulate that style JJ had, he certainly had lots of little riffs going on in the background. So that's kind of what I've tried to do there. Now, of course, it's just to give you a guide. It's not something you have to do. If you want to kind of play it that way, then that's fine. But also, you know, it's great for you to use your imagination and see what you can come up with to fit in with this kind of current arrangement. So without further ado, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move on to give you that whole demo of where we're at so far, really, with the 3 guitars and the piano. So check this out. Okay, so there you have the backing track as it currently stands. Yeah, you got 3 guitars, 1 piano, and drums. And so there are still some elements that need to be filled in there, like a bass guitar, lyrics and lyrical melody. All those things need to be worked on, and I'm very interested in any ideas you might have. But in the meantime, I hope that this helps in some small way and you enjoy playing along. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks very much for watching.